Willie. Eyed Willie. Say hi, Willie.
You are now tapped in with Through My Eyes with one eye.
Eyed Willie.
Through my eyes with one eye. The world, it was podcast.
Hey, this your boy Eyed Willie. Make sure y'all tap into the World's Illest podcast.
The world, it was.
What up, world? We was all at my crib, you know what I'm saying, and we kicked it. That was my first introduction. At that time, you was staying on Fort Knox. What was that like when you coming from where you came from in Texas to living that military background, that military lifestyle? How was that for you?
Man, Knox was cool, man. What I like about Knox, me, Marquita McDonough, Jerry Sykes, I forgot our crew name. We had a crew though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I shared my first, my first official kiss with Marquita McDonough. No offense to her husband or nothing like that.
Right.
That was crazy. And for the record, my boy Jerome Moses, man, first time I ever wore a pair of Jordans.
Yeah.
Was through my boy Mo. I had the Grant Hills.
Yeah.
He swapped me out the shoe before we went to school. My first time ever wearing a pair of Jordans through my boy Mo, man.
Now you was down here for a minute. You was living over there next to Mo for a minute. And then after that, I want to say you all moved over to the Rose Terrace neighborhood too, right?
Yeah.
Y'all ended up moving from up over there. But you wasn't down here too long to living that military lifestyle. What did you end up going for a little bit after you came back down
We
here?
went back to Texas after that. So we'll go from Kentucky to Texas,
So you was just always
Yeah,
back.
so I skip a year, come back a year, skip a year, come back a year.
Now, when you were down here, was that with your biological father, or was that with your mother? Did your mother remarry?
Yeah, with my mom and my stepdad. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, when you went back down there, you ended up staying. You went back to Texas. You stayed down there. When you went back, who were you staying with when you was down there?
My granny.
Okay. And then, but then eventually, your granny ended up moving up
out
here.
Right? Yeah.
So was that one of those times when y'all went back home, she just decided to come back up here?
So my uncle Michael was in the military.
Okay.
And that kind of like brought her out here.
Right.
And that's when we stayed on the block.
Okay, so then y'all ended up moving over to the block. Okay, so when you ended up coming back, you ended up leaving, you was going to school on Knox, then you left, then you came back, and then y'all was living in Radcliffe on the block. Now back in that time, that was what? Late 90s, right?
So my freshman year, right?
Uh-huh.
I was in Texas, and I was in house to house. I probably had like 4 pair of pants.
Uh-huh.
4 shirts, my whole freshman year.
Right.
So I had to finesse it.
Uh-huh.
That's when we starch and jeans, and you know what I'm saying, come and crease down, whatever the case may be, right?
Right.
So when she found out what was going on, she was like, nah, you gotta come out here. And that's when I came out here.
Okay. So cool. Now, when you came back out here from being down there, you know what I mean, you did a couple of years down there in school, then you ended up coming back out here. What was the difference? What was that transition like? Was it hard for you? You know what I mean? Because it was totally different down there than it is up here.
Now, it wasn't hard. What I liked about it the most was that's when I found drill.
Mm-hmm.
So when I stepped foot in North Arden, I'm gonna say the first people I seen. Dan Trail, and he don't like to be called that no more. Tyson, you know what I'm saying?
Tyson, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they had these puffer jackets on, Average jackets.
Yeah.
I'm creased down. I'm looking goofy. You know what I'm saying? But it's our culture.
Yeah.
But here it was just different, right? So I'm like, God damn, these niggas fresh. And that's when I met Ira Gregory.
Okay.
So that was the first person I met was IG.
Okay.
When I stepped to the north.
Now, when you stepped in the north, what was it? Was it something about his swag that drew you to him?
He had on the Air Maxes.
He had on the Air Maxes. Okay.
Yeah.
So you already people
with,
gave that
with this chop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What they call the DC fade.
Right. Now, back in the day, though, I think it was different. Now, he was one of those people who always, it was funny because he used to clown us because we used to wear our shoes unlaced. You know what I'm saying? And he used to always have his shit tied up. So that was one of those things I always remember. So I'm pretty sure you picked up on that. Just a little fashion thing, just picking up on the fashion. Because I'm one of them people too. As soon as you walk into the room, anybody walk into the room, I'm definitely peeping your shoes, checking your shoes out. Just like, man, let me see what the shoe game is about. You know?
So for the record, for everybody that's been asking for years now, who y'all looking at right now, It's Eyed Willie. This put me on the drip early on. We ain't know nothing about no dressing too much, none of that, like really name brand what was going on. So like all the Wallabies, the Timbs, all that came from Will. You know what I mean?
So
Will was always above.
Nah,
He was always
man.
ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? Will grew up real good, man. So we go Will crib, man. You know,
man, you already know.
living a good life in Will house, man. So shit,
Man, so I said it plenty of times. You know, I grew up military background. My father was in the military. My mother worked, so you know we grew up on Fort Knox. So it was always good. But we did come from Alabama. We come from the country. We from them dirt roads. You know what I'm saying? And all those things. So it's more or less what my father went through, or what my father seen, and he was just like, hey, he took a different route.
How did you get so like even with hip hop? You know, I come from just listening to Screw and all that, so I really learned hip hop from Will. You know what I'm saying? And Fab, for the record, this is who put me on you, my boy.
Nah, no joke. That's facts.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I put man, that was what that was. So let's take it back. Let's take it back a little bit. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, back in the day we used to have a record store called Avatar. So Avatar used to live right over there where where's that? What's over there? Jordans and all of that with George used to say. So Avatar used to be over there. So back in the day, when I met Juve and he finally came back from Houston, he put us up on the Chopped and Screw. So he put me on DJ Screw. So my first
Wait.
Yeah,
I
go
brought
ahead.
Screw to Kentucky. No
Most
cap.
definitely.
Set the record straight. You see, y'all know. There's a lot of them, hey, we ain't doing no cap right now.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, yes, sir.
So I ended up going into Avatar and copying a screw tape. And then when I ended up copying that screw tape, that's all we did was, you know what I mean, roll around, bang, screw. And then after that time, during that time, I want to say that's when y'all put us on Lil Flip. What was that? Lil Flip Freestyle King. Your brother used to be spitting. Shout out to my man Raymond. He used to be spitting always, freestyling and all of that. Who turned y'all on to Screw back in the day, or was that just something that was just a regular thing that went on?
Our cousin Richard Perry, Mud.
Uh-huh.
Muddy Water, man. That's what he was. So when he was cooking and doing his thing, you know, we'll be sitting in this spot, and all we do is just jam Screw. And then freestyle at the wash interior with Bo, goddamn Sean P, Coop, everybody.
I think I met Sean P. Sean P came up to the crib when I was in Bowling Green, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so cool. So then you was onto the school. You came up here. Now, when you came up here, what was the difference in music? Because you know, for me, although I am from Bama, you know what I'm saying. I was still bumping Wu-Tang, Nas, Jay-Z, and like you said, you know what I mean, turning on to the whole Fabulous thing and everything like that. What was the difference in the music?
That was a culture shock right there.
Yeah.
The East Coast, you know, we was more so on the West Side and down South, and then we did, what was that, Pastor Troy, drama and all that was Mississippi.
Yeah, through Sip. Yeah, shout out Sip, man.
But it was more so like that, you know, we just basically just listened to just, you know, Screw, down South shit.
Yeah.
We just kept it going like that, but then when we met shooting, that's when we started getting into, you know, I ain't even fuck with Jay. You know what I'm saying? That's my favorite artist now, but I ain't even fuck with Jay. Like that whole, I ain't even do that. But Corjai, what was Corjai?
Corjai used to bump that CNN, that Capone and Noriega.
Yeah, that's what he was on.
He used to bump that CNN. We used to be bumping that real tough. Me, him, and Tremaine.
Man, R.P. Corjai and Tremaine. And for the record, man, I still don't know nobody who can really just freestyle better than I ain't no Corjai. For the record.
Yeah, that's a fact. Them boys definitely go hard. So now you went to North Hardin, man. How was school for you in North Hardin? Were you one of those individuals that you excel in school? Did you do enough to get by? What was it for you?
North Hardin was college. In a nutshell. That's why when we went to college, it was no different.
Right.
So in North, you know,
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
you know,
we smooth.
But all right, so what was that? I had I went to AAU class in 10th grade. So not AAU. Was in Chicago. When you drunk.
Oh, AIM. Aim.
It's called AIM?
Yeah, aim.
So when you
get
drunk,
in trouble, yeah.
and then you gotta do them classes.
Oh, you talking about AA class? AA class.
AA
Okay,
classes.
yeah.
So I had AA class in 10th grade. No shit, no cap, right? So we used to steal liquor bottles out of what was that?
We used to go at the, I think, yeah.
What's it called?
I think
I used to be on.
Yeah, 04 knocks at the shop.
So yeah, we used to steal liquor bottles. So me, man, damn, I don't think was you with us that day? We was on MD 2020.
Yes.
I think I got with y'all later on that day. Y'all had all the MD.
So we used to chug the bottles of MD before school. So I'm in class. I'm done. I filed out my seat. I think my math teacher was also a principal at that time as well. And she was like, "Damn, what the hell wrong with him?" I'm just slouching. So they went and they called the laws on me, went and just drugged me or whatever the case may be. But I was getting loaded back then, so shit, by the time we got in high school and all that, we already did everything.
Yeah, we had
knocking heads off. You hear me? I don't think y'all know what that means, but
nah, go ahead, man.
Bodies.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, listen.
They ain't started fucking until they was in college. You know what I'm saying? But me, man, hey, man, I was tired by college, P. You know what I'm saying? I was already tired, but I ain't gonna drop no names, nothing like that.
Right, nah.
Having emotion.
But we used to be over at Mo crib. So so just for the record, we used to be at Mo crib. Mo mother used to work. They used to be our spot. You feel me? He had the basement. He had the swimming pool in the back. So we'll get it going. You know what I'm saying? And get it popping. And then that just used to be our thing. Now in 01, majority of us, well, I ain't gonna say majority of, but a lot of us, we ended up graduating from high school. Me, myself.
Before you even say that,
go
right?
ahead.
I only went to college because of my partner right here.
So we finna get to that.
I ain't care about it.
We gonna get to that because we gotta put something together that leads up to that. So I ended up leaving, going to Western Kentucky University, going to school. I ended up coming back down here. I remember coming to your granny house on the block. So we used to come over to your granny house on the block, and I think me and Raymond, we was out there, we was in there shooting dice. You know what I'm saying? And y'all was just like, "Hey man, what's going on up there?" So I started, telling everything about what's going on in the school thing, and then you became interested.
I don't remember none of that.
You don't remember? I know you don't remember that. I do.
I'm saying
I remember being in the room.
all that.
Nah.
And it was when you came through with the dreads,
Okay.
the camo jacket, the gold teeth. Right?
Yeah.
I went and got gold teeth. I started going with dreads. I said, I'm going to college with that nigga. Because I'm like, man, this nigga's a whole different nigga. I'm trying to see what that's about. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I even started running track and all that shit.
So that's what I was gonna get to. So in high school, you ended up running track and that. What did you run? What all did you run while you was in high school?
So basically, Lil Dip, my boy Bubba, Demetrius Langley, they was already on the track squad, and my boy Karen Ponda, RP, my boy Karen Ponda, goddamn Russ and them, right? So the only way I can graduate high school is if, you know what I'm saying, I had to finesse my way out, right? So shit, I know if you played sports at North, shit, you pretty much turned up.
Yeah.
Shit, what happened was I just went out there, I ended up running, and I don't know why Coach Webb took a liking to me. And then shit, he put me in my first track meet, he put me in a national track meet, indoor track meet, and I had to run a 400. So, long story short, man, I went national, I went state, you know what I'm saying? I started, doing my little thing. You know what I mean? Got all types of scholarships to go to college and blase. But that was cool. But the real reason why I wanted to go to college, man, because my boy Will came back dripping, man. I'm talking about, I think his swag was different. He had the pounds. I'm just trying to figure out, like, you know what I'm saying, what we doing wrong. So once we went up there and got a snippet of what was going on, I'm like, I'm gonna go to college, you know what I'm saying? College was probably the best decision I made, one of the best decisions I made in my life, though. That shit really opened my mind up. I didn't go to class one time.
Never went to class.
You know what's so crazy? Nigga, everybody was, I passed the test to be on the main campus. I don't get it confused. Uncle was intelligent, right?
You was going, first of all, hold on, before you even say that, you was going to school for engineering. So
Architecture,
engineering.
engineering.
There you go.
I only said that shit because it sounded smart. Nigga, I don't architecture, engineering.
You was like, man, it never went to class though.
Yeah.
But okay, so through the now you just went to your niece's graduation. She just graduated from high school. Now take it back to your graduation when you graduated from high school. Y'all had to hurry up, walk across the stage, and then leave and go run in the state track meet, right? What did y'all end up? What did y'all end up doing there? Did y'all end up winning?
Yeah,
something?
we ended up doing our thing. You know, I came second a few times. I ran against niggas that's in the Olympics now. You feel me? But that shit was cool. That shit was cool.
And then you ended up getting a scholarship. Then you came down to WKU. Now when you came down to WKU, is you not with your mother's still down here, your brothers are still down here. You know what I mean? Your granny's still down here. What was it like being away from your people down there in college?
Amazing. That's when we got loose.
Looser.
Yeah, that's when we started having motion then. That's when we started really going down. They had the 929.
We had the Mazda 929, the maroon joint, right?
The maroon joint with the peanut butter guts and the CD in the back.
Right. Hey man, this dude used to get on the road. Well, first of all, man, if y'all ever ride in the car with him, man, he has the worst road rage in the world. You know what I'm saying? So y'all got to people. If you ever on the phone with him, talking to him, he doing something, he talking, man, he got road rage.
I'm working on that though.
He goes straight to the phone, man. So that's one thing. Now we was down there, man. When we went down there, that was what? You came down in 2002. I had already been down there. Yeah, you came down there. That's when we ended up running into the Memphis crew, Sean G and all of them, man. How did you end up linking up with Sean G? And are you still in contact with Sean G?
Man, we just yeah, folks, Sean G. Sean G, Chuck, everybody, man. We all linked up. We were just terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end, they was terrible, and then we all had the same kind of aura. So everybody dreaded up, grills in our mouth, just that whole little thing. So we just bumped into each other, and then after that, we started being in Memphis every week.
Yeah, we was in Memphis on the regular down there.
That was turned up. Okay, turned up though.
Now you remember that time we went down to Memphis with Sean G, man, and I think him and his old lady got into it. We wanted to pop out. You probably not.
I remember that.
He was like, yeah, y'all can just go. We was like, man, we ain't finna ride around Memphis without you.
So we went with his peoples.
Yeah.
And then that's when they was finna rob us that night.
Well, that's another time when we came down there. So we came down and we ended up going to the club. This is when I remember this is when Wayne dropped Wayne and what's his name? Static Major had just dropped something, a song, and I think it wasn't that.
No. This so when we was out there.
You had your dreads in you because you pulled your dreads out.
Yeah, but that's
you
when
put your dreads out.
The iceberg down out of the right? But
yeah.
When we was out there with brother just got shot up. Mm-hmm. The big swole nigga.
Yeah.
He had left the hospital the next day. Right?
Yeah.
Shout out Alicia and all Alicia Jones, all y'all out there. But yeah, that's when the niggas circled us. They circled us.
Yeah. They in the club.
They hung out with us the whole time.
Yeah.
Then at the end of the night, they just circled around us. I'm like, damn, we finna get got. I don't know what happened.
Sean G.
Real. I think Sean G had made the call or some shit. I don't know what happened, but it didn't happen though. That was crazy. And we did not stop going. We just kept going to Memphis after that.
Kept going down there, kept making it happen. Now, before we continue, before we get into a little bit more, we're gonna take a quick little break so we can pay our sponsors real quick. First, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my man who's my partners who's letting us hold down the facility. Shout out to Faye Kings. Faye Kings Barbershop. If you need to come in and get your hair lined up, get anything taken care of, make sure you tap in down here at Faye Kings Barbershop in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. That's at 1111 North Dixie Highway in, like I said, Elizabethtown, Kentucky. So tap in. We're gonna take a quick little minute. I'm gonna switch these batteries up so we don't miss none of this footage. But y'all hold on. We're gonna be right back at it.
MJ,
yes, sir.
Legend, man. What you talking about, man?
Man.